We watch horror movies to get scared, but what if I told you, some of them are real? Not every scream was scripted. Some had evidence behind them. Today, we're looking at horror movies that are based on true, terrifying events. Some of these are backed by police reports, some by real witnesses, and others are so disturbing, they were banned or covered up for years. So turn off the lights, put on your headphones, because these horror stories might be closer to reality than you think. Directed by Scott Derrickson, The Exorcism of Emily Rose dramatizes Anneliese Michel's story, blending courtroom drama with supernatural horror. The film portrays the legal aftermath of the exorcism and the moral dilemmas faced by those involved. In 1976, a young German woman named Anneliese Michel died after months of Catholic exorcisms. Diagnosed with epilepsy and psychosis, her condition only worsened despite medical treatment. She began harming herself, eating inedible objects, and speaking in voices she claimed were demons. Her parents, desperate and convinced she was possessed, called in priests to perform 67 exorcism rites over 10 months. Audio recordings from these exorcisms captured Anneliese speaking in multiple voices, including those of the demons she claimed were inside her. Yet, behind the horror, the truth is documented. Medical records confirm her illnesses, and her autopsy revealed she died from malnutrition and dehydration. The story doesn't end there. Her parents and the two priests faced the law, convicted of negligent homicide in 1978. Court transcripts reveal a clash between belief in the supernatural and the reality of medical neglect. Every element of this tragedy, the psychiatric reports, the exorcism recordings, the court documents, paints a horrifyingly real picture. The movie takes dramatic liberties, of course, but the spine-chilling foundation of the story? Real events, real evidence, and a real warning about the dangers of mixing faith and untreated illness. Next, we move to the Amityville Horror. You've probably seen the house on screen, the green shutters, the eerie creaks, the screams, but behind the movie lies a horrifyingly real story. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered 6 members of his own family in that very house. The details of the crime were brutal, and court records confirm every single death. This wasn't fiction, it was real, and it shook the entire community. A year later, George and Kathy Lutz moved into the same house. What they reported next became legendary. Doors slammed on their own, objects moved without explanation, and strange voices echoed through the halls. Paranormal investigators documented some of their experiences, while the family kept journals detailing the bizarre phenomena. Jay Anson's 1977 book chronicled the Lutz family's claims and later inspired the 1979 film. While the murders are indisputable, backed by court documents and newspaper archives, the supernatural events are heavily disputed. Some researchers suggest the family may have embellished their experiences, but the combination of real horror and alleged hauntings created one of the most infamous haunted house legends ever. The story of Amityville reminds us that even when ghosts may be debated, real human horror, murder, fear, and tragedy can be terrifying enough on its own. Finally, we have a story far darker than fiction, The Girl Next Door. On screen, it's a terrifying drama, but the events that inspired it are disturbingly real. Sylvia Likens was just 16 years old when she was left in the care of a neighbor, Gertrude Baniszewski, in 1965. Over months, Sylvia endured unimaginable abuse, physical torture, psychological torment, and neglect, all while neighbors watched, some silently complicit. The case is meticulously documented. Court transcripts, autopsy reports, and newspaper articles from the time provide horrifying details of the abuse that led to Sylvia's death. Her sister, Jenny, was also victimized but survived, providing first-hand testimony used in the trial. Baniszewski and several accomplices were convicted of manslaughter and child abuse. The film fictionalizes certain characters and events, but the core terror is entirely based on fact. Every scream, bruise, and act of cruelty in the story has a basis in documented evidence. The Sylvia Likens case stands as a stark reminder that sometimes reality is far more horrifying than anything Hollywood can create. These 3 stories, Emily Rose, Amityville, and Sylvia Likens, show that horror isn't just on the screen. Emily Rose's suffering, Amityville's murders and hauntings, Sylvia Likens' tragic abuse, all are backed by real evidence, medical records, court transcripts, and first-hand accounts. They remind us that reality can be far scarier than fiction. So next time you watch a horror movie, remember, Sometimes the truth is the most terrifying story of all. Which of these stories chilled you the most? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life horror tales.